Welcome to the 3 to Play Games podcast. Each week we get together to talk and argue about all things video games. No matter how salty our debates get, we're always eager to discuss gaming culture, and we hope that you'll join in on the fun. Happy 2018, everybody. Joining me on the microphone today is
Becca,
Tom,
and I'm Josh. Welcome to the podcast. Tom, if I told you in 1 year you would have a Zelda, Mario, Sonic, Metroid, Pokemon, Pikmin, Crash Bandicoot, and Bubsy game come out in 1 year, what would you do? What year would you think it was?
some kind of nexus point of 90s nostalgia created by a BuzzFeed time machine. I wouldn't know where we are in the continuum.
Well, that was 2017 rolled up into one ball.
Also, we got a Madden game.
Oh, yes.
That's how you know the year was complete. So, it's obviously a recap show.
Yeah. It's kind of a, thanks 2017 for being an awesome year in gaming.
Yeah.
We started off pretty strong back in February, I would say, when Horizon came out. It was kind of just a build-up, though, because everyone knew what was right around the corner.
Well, not to diminish Horizon. In fact, I feel like that's kind of something that the game struggled with, is just like, oh, crap, I was really too close to Zelda. But I think it's had a lot of staying power, and it's probably one of the more interesting IPs that have come out in a long time.
No, it was great. From what I've played of it, I got maybe 8 hours into the game on my first playthrough, and I stopped playing it because Zelda came out right around the corner. I really enjoyed the game from what it was. I mean, there was so much to it, and there was so much, it was completely different than a lot of open world games that were out there, and the story was very good. The world was amazing for what was in it. The enemies were so creative. The environment was completely changeable and customizable to whatever you want to do. You can, setting up traps from one tree to another to kind of trap in these robots and lock them up and take over certain ones and ride certain ones. There was so much into that game. And then I kind of fell off because, Zelda came out less than a month later. It was kind of like so much open world overload that I couldn't go back to it right away.
Interesting. Open world games have kind of had a landmark year. If you think about not just Horizon, if you think about Breath of the Wild, about Mario Odyssey, about everything that's come out this year and how it's either made familiar open world formulas better or just completely shaken up the genre.
Mm-hmm.
But not to get too ahead of ourselves, we're kind of dancing through several different topics we wanted to cover. Do you want to talk about basically something that's kind of enveloped the whole year, like even from its initial reveal in January, which is the Nintendo Switch?
Yes, I think the release that surprised a lot of people.
Yeah. What a comeback, seriously, for Nintendo as a console manufacturer,
Yeah, when I was still not bought on it for a really long time, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do it. The new Zelda game didn't look good to me, and I was like, there's something about this that I couldn't grasp why I didn't want it. And then the release date came out, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to pick one up if I can find one. And sure enough, that morning I went out, and there was still a bunch of them available at Target. So I picked one of those up, and I picked up the collector's edition to Breath of the Wild. I was like, well, might as well.
It was a very odd release date. Coming out in March, you'd think a major game corporation would wait until the holiday season, but no, they just kind of threw it down in the beginning of the year, and they were like, everybody will spend their tax refund money on this naturally. So
Yeah.
But Yeah, from the get go with Breath of the Wild, like the Switch just came out swinging. The ability to have a full fledged Zelda game on the go anywhere with you, and the fact that it was as great and as fun and enjoyable of a Zelda game as it was, that was. If I were to say, that's probably one of the best system sellers at launch of all time. Would you disagree? Like,
yeah, I mean, I hate that statement though, because everyone always talks about Wii Sports because it came bundled with the console.
right. But I wouldn't even say in that manner. Well, wait. You just because the other example I did have, now I'm kind of wondering if you would disagree with it. In the way that Tetris was a Game Boy mover, you disagree because it was packed in?
It was packed in. That's the thing. People are always like, "Oh, the best selling game on it was this," because it came with that.
Okay.
Which, I mean, looking at Zelda now, I will say this though. I think the Switch sold like 2.74 million consoles within the first month or so of being open. My numbers could be wrong, and I think Zelda sold 2.72. So there was only like a 0.02 million units difference between the actual game and the console itself. So that means that everyone else who got the Switch either A, sold it on eBay, or B, bought 1-2 Switch.
Yeah. And I know I didn't buy 1-2 Switch, so.
No, I did not either. That is not a part of my Switch collection.
Not interested in milking cows, real or fake.
I just remember when they were marketing the Switch, it was, I believe the way they worded it was, it would be good for the core to the casual gamer, which I thought was interesting because Nintendo likes to be like, this is for families and everyone can play this. And I think that this one did a really good job of that. You have two consoles in one pretty much, and it is a family oriented console. And I think I definitely was like, when I heard about the Switch and read into it, but now watching him play stuff on it and kind of messing around with it, I'm like, okay, I see you, Nintendo. You did all right. Like I'm more hopeful now than I was, say, with the Wii or the Wii U.
I get you. For me, I think it, as you said, it truly succeeds in both modes of what it aims to be. Between playing Mario Odyssey on, docked on a TV like with a traditional console, or just getting to bum around like my house or my job when I'm bored out of my mind, playing any of like the great indie titles on it. It serves all purposes, and I think that's, like you said, that it's a huge way that it's succeeding because for parents who want something to distract their kids, it's like, here, it's like the tablets we already buy you, except you can get Nintendo games on it. And then if you're a more hardcore gamer, more traditional gamer, you've got a Game Boy and a console in one, so it's perfect. It's perfect.
And like you said, with the indie games, that was always my big thing with Nintendo is, Nintendo is a Mario console. Like, that's all I ever thought of for Nintendo is Mario, and Zelda, obviously. Mm-hmm. But now it's like, I can play Doom on this? Like, this is, like I said, like, step in the right direction. They're building their brand, and they're expanding their audience. And I think they're headed in a good direction.
So how did you guys feel about the mainline game release strategy? Because the one thing that kind of in the beginning of the year worried me about the console's prospects were like, it was Zelda, and then that's all you had for a bit. Like it was like big game, long drought, big game, long drought. Ports filled that in to a certain extent, and it doesn't seem to have hurt the console at all. But how did you guys? What are your opinions of how titles have populated the console between release and now?
So when it came out, I don't think they worried that much about it, and I know I didn't, because Zelda was such a huge game that if you went through and you played that game for everything that was inside of it, it was going to take you until the next game release. But the nice thing was there was actually a bunch of titles getting released out onto the eShop. And I know when I wasn't playing Zelda, I was playing Shovel Knight because Shovel Knight is still the best game ever made. And I mean, I kept bouncing back between those, and I was building up till the next game release, and then this one came out, and then more indie titles were coming out, and I was playing this, and they were actually giving us demos to play. And I think like the next big release after that I actually cared about when it came out was Mario Kart. Yes, I know it was a port, but it was still so much fun. Not even just being able to take it on the go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know this. I was with the Switch. I was actually excited to take it. Like my brother was like, "Hey, do you want to come over to my house for a little bit?" I was and hang out. I was like, "Sure," but I'm bringing my Switch with me to play. Like, sorry, I don't want to have conversation right now. I'm in the middle of saving Hyrule.
Didn't you guys play it the night before our wedding?
We did, yeah. You mean Ryan? Because that's again, it just comes down to the beauty of its design. You know, here you take the left Joy-Con, you take the right Joy-Con. You had a Pro controller and just had a couple Grand Prix. You know, it was so great.
I think. I mean, when was the last time you actually sat down with a group of people and not with a modern console and actually played a game with people? And
it only happens with Nintendo consoles for me, and this has just made it even easier, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the occasions like with the Jackbox games that have come out, or I know we just played That's You on the PS4, where these games that utilize your cell phone inside the game, which is nice and convenient, but it's not the same. You know, you can't just take your PS4 out of your house and then just take it over to someone's house and then just start playing a game on it. You have to go through the settings of hooking it back up. Where this, if someone has a dock, just pop it right in there and you're good to go. I know when we would go over to our friend's house to play D&D, I would take my Switch over and we would play Mario Kart before we would do that, because there was a group of us there where we can play 6 people on Mario Kart at one time if we wanted. But I think the Switch has exceeded all expectations. I think from everybody, from the hardcore gamers especially, all the way down to the casual gamers. I know when they did the E3 press release where they revealed Doom and they revealed Wolfenstein were coming to the Switch, it was like, oh shit, like people really care and people want to make games to the point where I think I posted up on our Facebook page that I forget the company's name, but they're making Outlast for the Switch. Like, these are horror games that are coming out on the Switch.
Yeah.
Something that you wouldn't see on the Wii or the Wii U, maybe on the GameCube. But you wouldn't see this in the past 10 years of Nintendo. Them actually pushing these boundaries of, and actually third-party companies wanting to work with them as well as they are doing now.
And yep. So I think the sales overall just support how much of that benefit exists. Nintendo has sold 10 million Switch consoles worldwide as of the end of December, the middle of December.
I think by the 13th month that the Switch is going to be out, it's going to already do better than the Wii U's entire lifetime. Mm-hmm. So in just a year and 1 month, it's done what the Wii U has done in 3 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, props to them for, figuring out how to turn the ship around. And I'm just excited to see where it goes from here. So, I want to... Basically, a small spoiler, but a lot of games that we're going to discuss later in our top games of the year list for me are Switch titles. But are there any games that you got to try first on the Switch that you think your impression was even better because of what the Switch offers in terms of portability and everything? Like for me, I'll just go with my go-to example is the Switch was the first console I truly played Stardew Valley on. When it came out on Steam, I played it for a little bit, but like it's just something that I edit on my PC more than I game on it. So like I'm never like, I'm gonna play Stardew Valley for like 5 hours. But like being on the Switch, it's like I can play Stardew Valley whenever I want. So I think that's the perfect kind of console to put a game like that on and to like get that experience out of the ability to like manage your time. It is a time sync game, so the ability to play it anywhere and everywhere really, I think, benefits the experience.
When it came to games that are out on other consoles and stuff, I think I only have Shovel Knight. And I will say I've played Shovel Knight more on the Switch than I have on any console. And I mean, I've played Shovel Knight and beaten it on every console that I own. But on the Switch, it just felt at home. Being able to not only play it portably, but play it on the TV, playing it with the Pro Controller, playing it with the Joy-Cons themselves, like all the options that I had to that game and what's inside the game, the co-op mode, the additional story modes that are inside the game, it just kept making me go back more and more and more. I know a lot of that's rolled out to the other versions now, but I just go back and play it on there because it's just better. The only thing I wish that the Switch had was like an achievement or a trophy system.
Yeah.
It would give me more of a reason to
Get all the moons in Mario.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm going to try to 100% Mario Odyssey because that's how I am.
Yeah.
And
Because you hate yourself, yes.
yes, I'm at 303 moons right now. So,
Okay.
and it's getting difficult. But if there was some type of an achievement system with Nintendo, I would be so much more like,
Inclined.
yeah, to want to keep pushing myself harder and harder and harder to do that. Just imagine if there was an achievement system in Breath of the Wild where getting all the Korok seeds actually meant something rather than just getting a piece of shit.
Oh, you didn't like that? I thought that was so sweet.
I thought it stunk.
For me, the playing Mario Kart on the Switch, I know when we first got it, I normally, like with the Wii U and stuff, I didn't really enjoy the handheld screen. I didn't like it. But in the Switch, I really do like it, and I'm wanting to try to play it more. It looks nicer, it's easier on the eyes, and the Joy-Cons, they're more comfortable to me than previous.
Yeah, the Wii U tablet, it's a lot of plastic surrounding
It's very
an okay
bulky.
screen, you know.
And I have small hands, like I'm a girl. I did not feel comfortable holding that and playing a game. This is a lot better.
Now, Tom, what games do you have for the Switch?
I have Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, Stardew Valley, Sonic Mania, and Golf Story.
Oh, you got Golf Story too?
He loves
Yeah, I
Golf
got Golf
Story.
Story.
Oh my god, I
Golf
love
Story
Golf
is so
Story.
good, but not too much about it. Just...
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you look at the first, all the way up to August. It was just big release, big release, big release. I like that they
Splatoon,
did. Yeah.
Splatoon 2, ARMS, like you said, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think
Mario
Rabbids came out. What's up?
I said Mario and Rabbids.
I think that was August or September. Yeah, so right through them, and then when did Rocket Party? Excuse me.
Rocket Power, you mean? The Nickelodeon's cartoon show.
The hit crossover game based off of the Nickelodeon cartoon.
I would play that.
When did Rocket League drop? That was in October, I think.
I believe Rocket League dropped in November,
Okay.
but I could be mistaken.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
But still, like, I think the other unique thing is just the emphasis on multiplayer titles. You know, making sure that you're not like when Nintendo makes single player games, they make them better than anybody else. But everything like Pokken, DX, Rocket League, Rabbids, like that's multiplayer, right?
No,
No, okay.
I don't think it is.
So scratch that.
I
But,
don't. I haven't played it because I refuse to play that game because of the Rabbids, and I hate saying that, but they really are truly the minions of video games.
Minions ripped the Rabbids off. Let's get that straight. Rabbids are the victims of plagiarism. But yeah, lots of emphasis on multiplayer titles, and with Rocket League cross console support.
I mean, when they did that, it was nice that they were bringing gamers together. You know, through Switch to Xbox to PC. Like, it was completely unheard of, especially in this time where every company is so cutthroat to get everyone's dollars, that Nintendo and Microsoft were like, no, let's be friends. Let's be there for the gamers.
Mm-hmm. Now, you two are big Rocket League fans, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is our cat Oz.
Yeah.
Which platform did you initially experience it on, and are you like fully crossed over to the Switch, or do you just like that it's there?
So I got it for the PS4 because that's when it first came out. I was on board with that. I platinumed it on there because that's how much I played it. I have probably almost 600 games played on the PS4 version of it, where I would just play constantly. It's the perfect. It was the niche that Smash Brothers left. You know, Smash Brothers for the Wii came out, and it was that whole the one more match mentality. And then Rocket League came out, and I was playing that, and I'm like, well, you know, it's only a 6-minute match. You know, I have another 6 minutes. I can do this again. And then 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, man, I really should go to bed. But it's, you know, one more match should do it.
Yeah, that was the. I would be going to bed and say, "Are you coming?" And he would say, "One more match," and I would laugh and know I wouldn't see him until the next morning, because he would stay up and play it till 5 or 6 in the morning.
I have not yet downloaded it on the Switch because there's just so much on the Switch that I have to play that I just can't dive into it yet. I mean, I'm probably going to because I want all the special carts that are there. I would prefer a physical edition of it because that's just how I am.
Yeah, I'm in that boat too.
But, I mean, if there's not going to be one, I'll probably be downloading it here soon just because I want that Samus cart and the Luigi cart.
But lest we get accused of being fanboys, you want to talk about how this was also a pretty great year for the rest of the industry?
Yeah, on the 3DS, Metroid came out.
Yeah. Well, that's every console. Thanks for listening.
No, I mean, we've talked about Horizon. We've talked about a lot of the Nintendo releases that's come out. I know beginning of the year we had Resident Evil 7 get released, which was
Big turnaround from 6.
A breath of fresh air. Have you played it?
No, but I've watched enough to just be really excited by it, and I'm glad from word of mouth that it's just like 6 was such a downfall for me. I was like, no. And then Raccoon City Survivors, which I remember you had a lot of stock in, and then it was like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Resident Evil 7 was spoopy. Like, it was scary.
Did you guys get to play it in VR?
No. I want a PlayStation VR, but I think our layout in our house, it's just not suitable.
Okay.
So, like, because you have to be a certain amount of distance away from the TV, your lighting has to be perfect. You have to have all the controllers and stuff to be able to make it work. I want to, because there's a couple games out there in VR that I do want to try and I do want to play, especially like Doom VR that just got released. I'm a huge fan and a huge supporter of the modern release of Doom, that I would love to play that in VR. Gotcha.
Well, how about a game that's not available in virtual reality, but is still probably one of my favorite games of the year, Sonic Mania? Got any Sonic Mania fans?
Yes, I got it on the PS4, and I absolutely love it. Soundtrack is amazing. The art style is...
just what it needed to be.
Exactly, yes.
It's like Jump. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But I think it's the best sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles that came out. I actually had a lot of fun with it. Even the mini games inside that game were great.
The Emerald mini game is one of the best. Like, here's the thing. I hate the stupid spherical collect all the balls levels. They give me a headache, and after a while, it's just like, oh, here we go with this again.
Yep, gotta walk around that circle. Oh, square.
The chase the UFOs, though, great. I love that as a mini stage concept.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. I still haven't even beaten it yet, but the day that I got it at my cousin's house, we booted it up, also on a PS4. Just watching between my turns the gameplay and the new levels, there were so many moments where I seriously just went, whoa! And I didn't even like mean it disingenuously. I was just like in awe.
The craziest thing about it was how long some of those levels are. Mm-hmm. Where I almost hit the timer limit on some of those levels. I'm like, man, these levels are huge, and I'm not even near the end of it yet.
It's the only flaw is that I do not think there's any reason to keep a time limit. Like, put a timer in for like record keeping sake, but like one thing, it's a tangent, but like Mario Odyssey brilliantly did away with the live system. It was just like, oh, you dock some coins. All right, keep going. Like, games don't need live systems anymore. We're out of the arcade era where that mattered and meant something. Like, that's the only thing I'll say against Sonic Mania is nothing was more aggravating than when I got to a point and I was down to one life, and if I screwed up or whatever, I just like reset the game because I was like, well, I don't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only knock against it.
We had Persona 5 come out, which I'm not a huge fan of, of the Persona series in general. I have a Vita, and everyone keeps saying that I should get Persona 4 for the Vita. I'll probably get it sooner or later because I keep hearing so many good things about it, but I have the memory of like the PlayStation 2 version of Persona that I'm just like, I don't know if it's going to be the same, but everyone keeps praising how amazing Persona 5 is. So, I mean, that's, I would think, a notable release. I mean, it was nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
In certain gaming communities I run in online, it took over the conversation for months, and to a certain degree still has. So, also having not played it myself, I'm a little bit like, I really should get on this before, like, you know, the next one comes out or something, and I'm just left behind again. But from the gameplay and trailers I've watched of it, it's just very stylistically unique, and it's made a very significant footprint in gaming culture this year. So you got to give it props for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another big one, kind of in the same mold, is Nier Automata.
Nier Automata, yeah.
No, is Nier Automata?
Yeah, I don't know how to
I didn't do that wrong.
Near Automata.
Have you seen anything on it at all?
Again, this was a great year for PS4 exclusives, and it was a year where I was kicking myself for not owning a PS4.
Yeah.
I was like,
I got it when, on Black Friday, actually. They had a huge sale, I think, at Best Buy or Target or one of those places. I got it. It's unique. It actually starts off completely unexpected. I didn't know anything from it. I didn't play the original Nier that came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360. I was playing through it. I mean, it's the fighting style to it's extremely unique. I want to get into it a little bit more because I feel like the opening level just didn't grab me the way that it's been grabbing everyone. Now everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, you got to get about 8 hours into the game before you start to appreciate it." And I'm like, I don't.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best.
I have to get through an entire work shift before I can actually enjoy this game. But from what I mean, like I said, it's unique, and I'm looking forward to continuing it because I feel like it's going to be a very good game. Just when it gets there.
Okay.
I would like to bring up my favorite, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah?
Because I don't think I ever thought Crash Bandicoot would come out again. Like, I thought he was dead and gone forever from my life. But
well, we all thought about that about Bubsy too. But,
but I had fun, and I remembered most of the levels, and the same thing with Sonic. When you start it back up again, you're like, was this always this hard? Or am I old and not used to playing these games? But it looked beautiful. It was fun. It was nostalgic. And this was a pretty decent year for bringing back the OG fun games of Sonic and Crash. And I'll say Bubsy and Parappa the Rappa.
Now, did you feel like it improved on the gameplay in any way, or was it just kind of like a perfect preservation?
I think it improved on it.
Okay.
It felt the same but better.
Okay.
I didn't feel like it was a completely different game, but I felt like, ooh, this got a new coat of paint.
And in a good way.
Yes, correct.
Gotcha.
Have you played, to kind of give you an idea, Link to the Past? Amazing game.
That's
Have
good.
you played A Link Between Worlds?
I have not yet.
Okay, so A Link Between Worlds is a spitting image of A Link to the Past. Like, shot for shot, almost the same exact game. But it felt so much better, and that's what Crash Bandicoot did. You know, it took the same coat of paint that you saw, but just enhanced everything, made the jumps, like, feel like you were actually playing a platformer game that wasn't like if you screwed up, it was your fault.
Right.
Okay.
It wasn't poor mechanics or early mid 90s PlayStation polygons like, oh well, this jump box doesn't seem right or this doesn't feel right or there's no way that I should have died off of this.
I'm still gonna blame that though. It wasn't me.
So it's Donkey Kong Country logic. It's hard, but it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you loved about like the original Donkey Kong Countries, the same thing with Tropical Freeze. Tropical Freeze took what you loved but made it better, I personally think. But I thought Tropical Freeze was great.
Okay. So same logic to Crash.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. What else did we have this year? Destiny 2 kind of, I feel like that has already disappeared from the conversation.
Oh, wait. Let's talk about things that disappeared right now. We'll just go right out of the bat and go Mass Effect Andromeda.
Dead and gone. Let's see if we can play this game. How many whimpers can we remember from this year? Destiny 2, Mass Effect Andromeda, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Well, maybe it went out with a bang, but like it's already. I feel like the writing's kind of already on the wall for that title.
I personally think Ultra's Sun and Moon.
Dude, yeah, like I consider myself still a pretty enthusiastic Pokemon fan, but I was just like, I don't know. I was like, nah.
Like you got me once with Black and White when you did Black and White 2, but like I don't need a second version of this right away. Less than a year?
No, 8 year. Like exactly 8 year. 8 year.
Like,
yeah.
Come on. Give us what we want. If you're gonna redo any of them or add on to any of them, just re-release red, blue, and yellow. Or just do yellow.
You got those already. Now you got them digitally. I'll be legit. What I think has to be coming, and what I want is Diamond and Pearl remakes. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Yep.
I mean, Platinum is my second favorite Pokemon game because Gold I still think's the best. But
oh yeah. What else is just kind of? What did gaming culture decide on Injustice 2? Is that I feel like there's a lot of hype for that, and
I think there was a lot of hype for it, and then it disappeared, and then they started releasing all of the downloadable characters, and then the hype just went right back up. Mm-hmm. When you got Hellboy and you got the Ninja Turtles, and they just started skyrocketing all the way up. Like the hype to that game just was crazy.
Yep.
Halo Wars 2.
What? That came out this year?
Oops.
Kind of not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hate to say this, but Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, I know there was a lot of talk for it when it came out, but it's kind of like just dust in the wind right now. Like it made an impression maybe the first 2-3 weeks that it came out, and it was just I know it's not a full game, and a lot of people were saying that it's more of a linear story, like a walking simulator almost. It's not like a lot of the other Uncharted games, but
okay. That's a little bit sad. I heard some really good things about it.
Oh yeah,
Again, it's another
everyone
example
keeps,
of PS4 having a game that's like, oh, I need to get a PS4.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying how great it is, but I think like the hype died really fast on that.
Well, can we talk about the game that transcended and took over gaming culture this year? That was everywhere for better and for worse.
A Cuphead?
No, the Lego Ninjago movie game.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Like crazy good. They got everything about the movie right. Jackie Chan's voice acting was so good. Combat was fun. What was your favorite Lloyd level?
My favorite was when Lightning McQueen showed up.
Yeah.
And he drove around the racetrack.
Nice try. That's Shrek. Cuphead was pretty awesome though.
Yeah, I got it.
He rage quit.
I rage quit on that so bad. Like, oh man.
I've never seen you go from like 0 to 60 on excitement to devastate. Like you were so excited to play that game, you downloaded it, you started playing it, and you're like, fuck this, and just
it took me an hour and 15 minutes to beat the first level, and I'm like, this game is not better than me. I know for a fact it's not better than me. But
Pick yourself up.
you're talking about that game that PC players play, aren't you?
I'm talking about PUBG.
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 So you probably have more hours in PUBG than I do.
Yeah.
And by hours, I mean all of them because I have 0 hours in PUBG.
Well, you haven't picked up the Xbox yet?
No, So my thing is, I don't want to pay for a game that's not complete.
Well, version 1.0 is out. I guess the Xbox... Is the Xbox version not the... Oh, yeah, that's not the full version yet.
Well, I don't... The box to the game says Game Preview Edition. So
1.0 is out on PC, so it's considered done. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, I did play it. I can say I've been off of it for a while now. It's just like... It's a very unique experience. It's really like adrenaline pumping in the moment, but I suck at it, and it's just like a frustrating game to get better at because of how it's both unique and frustrating and how unstable every moment of it is. It's literally like I would probably like it just proves to me that I would die in any kind of real survival situation because I can't even make it through a match of PUBG. I mean, I think I've cracked the top 20 once. The funnest way I ever got the game to work is just to see how quickly I could assemble the most fly outfit possible before I was killed. But that's a game I've rage quit many a times as well, so don't feel too bad about Cuphead. I will not deny that its popularity is earned. I think it's the kind of gaming experience I used to like dream about as a little kid, like, oh, just like super huge, open matches against so many people. Like we're getting that now. I just need to get good at it,
Do you feel like it deserved to be in the Game of the Year nomination?
I feel that it's one of those situations where a game's impact on the industry shouldn't be ignored. And well, yeah, it's not a complete game. It's not a perfect game, but it's just like everybody was talking about PUBG this year. So I think that's enough. Like, it's undeniable,
Well, I mean, you look at it, it went ahead and it surpassed Dota 2 as the best-selling game, or the biggest selling game on Steam, which was insane. And it's like, okay, like it happened, but it's not going to continue it. And it's like, oh shit, like it's the biggest selling game on Steam, and it came out it came out earlier this year. Yeah. But I mean, currently I think they have over 3 million players at one time. Like, we're playing it currently. Like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. When I saw gameplay from it, I kind of got the old PC Counter-Strike feels of like everyone was playing it at one time, and it was that kind of community of the like shooting games where I was like, oh, that's like a modern Counter-Strike. I'm kind of interested in this.
It's very fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't watch too much of Twitch, but I will watch a lot of PUBG matches just because, again, like it's the unexpected every time you play. So watching somebody else and see what they're doing and just be sitting there and be like, don't do that, or like, yeah, get him. It's.
I'm wondering if that's going to turn into some type of an esport.
I mean, I know they have competitions. I don't know how you like put 100 people on an arena floor, land them together, and then,
Right.
I don't know. I wonder if its size prohibits that.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of big moments, a lot of big titles this year. A lot of, with every year, with all the good, you get some bad too. As with any year in the gaming industry, we had some losses, some controversies. Do you guys want to shift into downer territory?
Yeah, I'm really upset about Visceral Games.
Yeah. Rest in peace, poor one.
Never be able to play Dead Space 4 unless somebody buys the IP for it, which I highly doubt that they're going to after the debacle like Dead Space 3 was. But I mean, the Dead Space games were one of my favorite franchises for a good portion of the early 2010s. I mean, they were different, unique, and whatnot. And then they were working on a Star Wars title, and they were like, no, we're going to scrap that too, no matter how close to it.
At this point, if you inherit a Star Wars IP, I think you might as well just preemptively close. Like, hey, I mean, like, EA's lucky they have other crap to survive on, but
right.
Has anybody since LucasArts folded been benefited by developing a Star Wars game?
I don't know how well is the Star Wars game, the one that's on mobile devices doing, like the puzzle type game,
Galaxy of Heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe that's the exception. I just feel like it's like, you know, the company that was handling Star Wars 1313, you know, that was gone. The company that was handling the Darth Maul solo game, you know, blip. Now Visceral Games, blip. You know.
I know. I heard a lot of rumbling that the whole issue with Battlefront 2 was based off a lot of the reasons that they pulled the loot crate system in Battlefront 2 was because Disney was like, you got to stop this or you're not going to have Battlefront's name anymore.
Well, that's something that's not to get too off topic, but that's just kind of unilateral, it seems, with Disney and the Star Wars brand. That's why Phil Lord and Chris Miller got fired off of the Han Solo movie. It's why Colin Trevorrow got fired from Episode 9. Like, Disney, you know, they spent billions of dollars on Star Wars, and I don't think they're willing to let anybody screw around with the property. So it's like, yeah, I could see them getting really mad at EA, like, stop screwing this up.
Yeah.
You know?
You have something that everybody wants and everybody has been begging for, and you've hyped it up so much, and then you've gone and kind of turned the entire community against you.
The thing with the name, the brand, Star Wars, is if you taint it in any way, you're never going to hear the end of it. And it leaves a sour taste in people's mouths. You know, you have a bad Halo game or something, the next one, oh, we'll give it another shot. But Star Wars, it has such a cult following that it's, you mess with this, you mess with us. I feel like it's kind of up on a pedestal where you have to get it right or you don't get it at all.
I wouldn't say cult. I'd say full-blown religion.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You know?
That's true.
That's what I mean. You don't mess with Catholics. You don't mess with Star Wars fans.
You don't mess with my midichlorians.
But yeah, it's interesting how that's happened. So Visceral, sadly gone. What else can we populate this in memoriam segment with? Who else?
I'd like to give a shout out and RIP to AOL Instant Messenger. Not really a game, but for our generation, that's been a lifeline for a long time.
I don't think any other piece of software sold more PCs than AIM.
Yeah, that's true.
A system-selling piece of software.
Smarter Child.
Tom, have you ever played Emily is Away?
I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't know.
It's a game. You can get it on Steam. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's called Emily is Away. It's a game based out of AOL Instant Messenger.
Ooh.
Like,
so is it like away messages? Like
it's like a text based adventure game.
It's a conversation where you kind of choose your own path. So you pick what you want to answer each question with, and it gives you different outcomes based on how you answer.
Like you like this girl in high school and you're trying to like date her, and it's like it progresses through the years.
So you're like, hey baby, ASL, and then
Pretty much.
But it's really cool because like you can go in and you can view the profiles, and it looks exactly like how we would do our profiles back in the mid 2000s.
Like
definitely
emo song lyrics and like sparkles.
embarrassingly cool. Cool.
Honestly, definitely take a look into it. I think it's pretty cheap as well, but the second one just got released too. I would highly recommend you take a look into that if anybody is nostalgic for the AOLs.
Sweet. Yeah, way to tie that into gaming. Good job, guys.
We had R.I.P. Club Penguin.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Club Penguin.
I know.
Pour one out.
The RuneScape for 8-year-olds.
I know.
I missed that back in the day, but I remember when the news broke this year and everybody was losing their legitimate minds, just like no. Yeah, online Flash game, apparently owned by Disney when it shut down, right? Or was it always owned by Disney? Oh no, it was purchased by Disney.
Yeah.
Later in its lifespan. So, have either of you played? Were you Club Penguin players?
No, that was way after my time.
Yeah, I was a Neopets kid.
I think I dabbled in the Penguin, but not for long. I definitely remembered it, and when I heard that it was shutting down, I'm like, why do I know that name? And I looked it back up and was like, no. But I can see why people would be upset about it. It's
kind of just like, without even having played it, it is sad and just kind of like an end of an era way. Right. Like RuneScape is still active as far as I know, because my brother still checks his account frequently. But there's so many of those online browser games that I'm surprised to learn are still active, and then B, I'm like, well, I wonder how much longer they're going to keep those around. You know, like, is it cost efficient or not to keep Habbo Hotel running? Because
oh my gosh,
I never want Habbo Hotel to close.
I don't remember the last time I heard those two words put together.
Boba.
Well, speaking of those type of games and how long and how much money is it going to cost to keep those active, Marvel Heroes was discontinued this year.
Okay. Wow.
Have you played Marvel Heroes at all, or
that was the Galaxy of Heroes, but for Marvel, right? That was a mobile game?
No. Marvel Heroes was very similar to like Diablo.
Oh.
But with Marvel.
Yeah,
obviously.
With Marvel characters. I played it back on the PC when it came out a couple years ago, and then earlier this year they released it on consoles. And it was awesome because it was like, oh, hey, you want to be Spider-Man? Do you want to be Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming? Do you want to be Spider-Gwen? Do you want to be like all of these characters? There was such a wide variety to it, and it was a great game. It got lost a lot, and it was a free to play game, so you knew it was like, oh, if you want this, you have to buy this box here that's going to have a certain costume in it. It might not be the costume that you want, but you have to pay for this, or you can use the in-game currency, which you have to mine for a really long time to be able to get enough to do it.
A container of loot, would you say?
I would say probably a box filled with loot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. It was a great game though. I had a lot of fun from what I played of it. I know when you got like the PS4 version of it, you got Deadpool for free, but you got the Netflix version of Deadpool. No, not Deadpool. Daredevil. I'm sorry. Daredevil.
Wow. Gotcha.
But then
cool.
But since it's a Marvel game and it's this era of Marvel stuff, you don't have your X-Men characters. I don't think you had a lot of your X-Men characters. I know you had Deadpool just because everyone wants to get money off of Deadpool, but that's the biggest thing. And I think going back to games that kind of just fell off of the planet, Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
I feel like the community sentenced that game to death before it even actually came out.
I mean, well, you didn't have Wolverine in it. You didn't have a lot of your big characters that everyone always used in that game because people wouldn't care about those because they're not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which, I mean, technically now they are.
I got you. Yeah, they should have just waited a little bit longer, guys. You could have been good.
I think the biggest cancellation and shocking cancellation was Scalebound this year. You know, for a company like Microsoft that didn't really have a lot of first-party titles come out this year, this was like one of their biggest games that they put all their eggs in this basket, and then a couple months before it was supposed to get released, they were like, you know what, let's just forget about it. And I was like, what? And I know it hurt a lot of people at Platinum Games, but now Platinum Games has the Bayonetta series still coming out.
Nintendo seems like they're going to be kind of taking care of Platinum for a while.
Yeah.
But, I remember, they announced Scalebound back in 2014?
Yeah.
And, it's about tiny people jumping on big monsters, so it was pretty cool. Like, you could say it was a game about scale.
Yeah. You were bound by it.
Maybe it was canceled because the title wasn't that good.
You had headphones and you rode a dragon, Tom.
Whoa. So Josh,
Yes.
last episode we made a promise.
Okay.
A promise that we are now going to break. I know fans have been waiting on bated breath for 2 months because Brian wanted to do our top 3 gaming animals in the next episode, but we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that because it's not on topic. It's not on brand. And like Disney, we don't like it when it's not on brand. So what's the top 3 today, Josh?
So top 3 is our top 3 games of 2017.
How expected.
What an episode about recapping the year means our top 3 games have to be from this past year. Tom, do you want to go first?
Sure. Because I was worried about having repeats, but I get to go first. Now you guys are going to be copying me. My top 3 games of the year, they're all kind of situated around one console. But I'll give PUBG an honorable mention for everything I said about it before. Like I said, it's a very unique experience, and I think it's earned the rep that it got in a good way. My number 3 game of the year would be Golf Story for the Nintendo Switch. It is a charming AF little RPG done in a retro kind of 32-bit graphic style, top-down, and it's the best game about golf that involves the least amount of golf I've ever played. Just kind of take your stereotypical JRPG young person on a quest story and just filter all of their journey and experiences and their goals through golf. Side quest. Hey, I need to get these bird eggs into a nest. Can you hit them into the nest with a golf club? Oh, yeah, sure. He's trying to find his father in like a very kind of stereotypical Fallout kind of way, but it's more like my dad was a pro golfer and I was learning from him. I got to go find him for lessons because I'm a bum and I need free golf lessons. Like it's just a perfect kind of, it's a perfect RPG that's a satire of RPGs, and it's also a really kick-ass golf game. Just on top of it all, perfect, intricate customization options and great gameplay. It's so much fun.
Some of my favorite parts of that game are the frisbee golf.
Yeah. Oh, disc. Whoa, pros call it disc golf.
Sorry,
pros call it disc golf.
Sorry, these aren't. What's a frisbee?
These are discs. But yeah, it even has disc golf in it. And it's just like I said, charming AF. So good. My number 2 game of the year is Super Mario Odyssey, which finally, I'm going to sound like such a bitter, spoiled sport here, but I have been waiting since Galaxy for a Mario game to get back to like a more explorable, more free, open concept world. Maybe not describing it the best way, but basically ever since Super Mario Galaxy 2, where they put you on a ship that can only go on like a branching path map, every Mario game has just been kind of dragged back to like, it's Super Mario 3, but just in different, packaging and everything. With Odyssey, it's like, okay, we're going to try something new again. And every level in that game is a breath of fresh air. There's so many things to discover, so many cool things to find, from references to just like character callbacks, to the fact that like the moons are scattered everywhere, but finding them is never not a surprise. Like you get one and you're like, oh, holy crap, I got a moon. Like it's just so satisfying with every minute of its gameplay. I think Cappy is like a great sidekick character. I love the concept of the Odyssey. I think that's a great piece of design. My favorite kingdom so far, because I'm admittedly not done, I love the verticality of New Donk City.
Mm-hmm.
And just like
it's the most fun I've had in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's gonna be, how far are you?
I'm like in the 150 star range. Like we're at Bowser's Castle, but we haven't fought him yet.
So the dragon.
Oh, we did the dragon. Yeah, the Lord of Thunder
was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was like
really cool.
It's completely different than anything from a Mario game, and I loved every aspect of it. Yes, it's a very short level, but oh my god, I had so much fun in New Donk City. But when that happened, I was like, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This is completely unexpected from Mario.
It's truly, truly great, truly remarkable. And then my number 1 game of the year, again, I'm super Switch biased, but it's where I played the most new stuff. Oh, wait, I'm a liar. I didn't play this game on the Switch. I played it on the Wii U. So my number one game of the year is actually a Wii U game. It's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Still amazing, even on the Wii U. Like, similar to all the compliments I made about Mario, but different is just that, like, every inch of that game is a joy to explore, and there was never a moment where I found myself bored. Like, you could drop yourself on any specific like square footage of that map and find something to do like right away, and it's just so fun. The way you can go anywhere right off the bat is perfect. I didn't think I would want that in a Zelda game, but when I got it, I was like, oh, now I don't think I could really go back to playing it any other way. I have some documented gripes with how it handles its narrative, but it's still a good narrative to wrap around. They were like, hey, we got to do the gameplay nuts and bolts of this first, so the narrative had to take a back seat, but it was still good for what it was, and I truly, truly loved it.
So I'm going to go on and talk about Breath of the Wild here for a little bit. My lovely wife got me tickets to go see Legend of Zelda Symphony of the Goddess down in Philly. And when they started playing music for Breath of the Wild, and they started off doing the piano medley, like the piano like fill or whatever you would call that for a piano, of when the ink drops onto the Sheikah slate. I was like, oh my God, like I remembered of like the first time it happened, or every time you found a shrine or anything. I was like, I really like that game. Like, I know we've had conversations in the past about like, oh, thinking about it, and like there was this and there was this and there's all these issues with this and the story and whatnot. Like when the music was on and I was watching like the scenery that they had going on behind, I was like, oh my God, like I forgot how much I loved that game. That it was a perfect survival game.
Yep.
Yes, it broke away from the norm of Zelda, but guess what? So did Wind Waker. Mm-hmm. And Wind Waker was great. Mm-hmm. And so did Majora's Mask. Mm-hmm. And I know you think Majora's Mask is great. Like, there's so many times. Now, Brian's not here, and Zelda 2 broke away from the norm of what Zelda was. But that's the thing. Everyone loves those games that have broken away from the norm.
Well, and nobody loves Zelda 2.
No, nobody really does. But even Link's Awakening, for the Game Boy, and it was really cool. During the encore, they actually did like a 5-minute song medley of Link's Awakening, and it was
very cool.
It was pretty cool.
With building up the Battle to the Windfish, instrument by instrument.
Yeah,
they
did all of it. It was awesome. They did that one. Then they did. Hearing like A Link to the Past in an orchestra style sound was unbelievable, because it was like it's all 16-bit music that you're hearing, and it was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's a great just point that you brought up the music of Breath of the Wild, because like it's so subtle, but it really adds to the experience. Like you said, like so much of it's just soft piano based. And it's not overwhelming, and it's not like distinct the way previous Zelda themes had. Like every previous Zelda game was like, oh, this is the song for this area. But like when you're just walking around and you hear like the da-da-da-da, and it just sets the mood, it's perfect,
When you are climbing to the castle at the end of the game and the main theme hit, I had goosebumps that entire like hike through the castle. I was like, this is probably one of the best renditions of the Legend of Zelda theme.
Absolutely.
Here. But other than that, I'm gonna do my top 3. So I'm gonna start with my honorable mention, which you've mentioned already, which is Golf Story. Adorable game. It takes what I loved from the Game Boy Advanced Mario Golf and added it to the Switch, and now I can make it portable. Okay. I know when we were on our honeymoon, I was sitting on the plane and I was playing Golf Story the whole time. I was like, I can't beat this run. These damn cave people are just their golf course is too hard.
Go on your honeymoon without me.
These cave people aren't better than me. And then I will go into number 3, which is something that we didn't talk about the entire time of this podcast, which kind of blew my mind. South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
Oh, that's right.
So I got it, and I got it actually the day that it came out, and I started playing it, and then I took a break from it for a couple of days because I was like, I wasn't too into the fighting mechanic in the game. It's all grid based.
Right.
But it was too funny for me to not play it anymore because it was that humor from South Park that you know and love. And is it better than Stick of Truth? I don't think so. I like the superhero aspect to it, but I think Stick of Truth was the better of the two games. Not saying that this isn't great. I'd still put this at about a 9 out of 10 on it. It's just the fighting mechanic was a little off-putting, and I know a lot of people who don't like the Fire Emblem or the Final Fantasy Tactics style gameplay might not like it, but it's very easy to pick up and learn. I know there was a boss battle towards the end, well, after the game, that you can do that. It took me about an hour and 45 minutes to beat them, and it reminded me of like going up against like Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts. So I was like, okay, like I'm all right with that. Number 2 on my list. Oh man, I was debating about this, and I wanted to put a certain game there, but I feel at the last second I need to switch it over because it improved everything that I loved. And that's Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5.
A port of a remake that came out. All right.
It came out for the PS4.
Yeah.
And it just improved so much. And I know Brian would be like, oh, the frame rate issues. No, actually seeing it I believe it was running at 60 frames per second. The battle mechanic just feels better. It was, playing it on the PS2. I had it for the PS3, but just what they did, and now it's 1 and 2 together on one disc. I'm like, okay, like.
Well, I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I know it's your pick.
No, do you want me to pick something else?
No. It's your list, and that can be in your list because this is America. But my only question is, you said you had on the PS3. So what is different between the PS3 release of these titles and the PS4? Like,
so
what changed?
I will say the PS3 version of the game ran like shit. Oh. Constant lag, constant freezing. It just didn't. It felt like there was like when you get a lot of those HD remakes and it kind of looks like they just softened the like edges around things. I know we played the Silent Hill collection on the PS3 a long time ago, and that's really what it looked like. It was just kind of like they took the colors that you see there and they kind of just smoothed them out a little bit just so they looked cleaner. You didn't really add any more detail to it. Where the PS4 version of these games, it looks so good and so much more colorful, and you didn't have that polygon look to it, or the characters weren't stiff. Like it was believable that it could have been a PS4 game that was released.
Okay.
2 of the best action RPG games that have come out in the past, 15 years. On one disc and just redone with all the additional pieces inside there, plus the extra games that you had, because you have like 5 or 6 games on that disc as well. I was surprised when I put it in there and I was like, this just looks amazing. The scenes look great. The art style looks amazing to it. Like I said, the controls they're so much better than I remember on the PS2 or the PS3 version of it. It felt like a complete game. Yes. Right. Yes. Before I get criticized anymore, though, I will say that my number 1 game of the year is Breath of the Wild. It's
good.
Oh my God. It's
good. Opinion is good.
Yeah. It's probably, and I know I texted you when I beat it and I said it's the best Zelda game. I stick to it. Like for the longest time, Twilight Princess was my favorite, and then I went back and forth between Twilight Princess and A Link to the Past. But after playing this, and then I think going to that concert actually made me realize.
You said you wanted to play it again.
I was like,
there.
I want to go back. I want to reset my game data that I have, even though I don't have all the shrines, I don't have all the Korok seeds. I want to go back and redo this game from beginning to end.
Yep.
I just want to be able to experience, like I said, the survival aspect to it. You know, walking out in the middle of the rain when it's lightning with a metal shield on your back is going to cause you to get electrocuted. Like, how many games do you know of that kind of stuff happening in? Like, there's
dropping an egg on Death Mountain will fry the egg on the ground.
Yeah.
It's so cool, that level of detail.
The map is huge. Yes, I know it gets a lot of complaints because there's not much in the map. There's not much to do. But there's so much. What?
Fake news. Not true at all.
But I haven't gotten the DLCs yet. I think I'm waiting because I think the game's perfect right now.
You need the motorcycle.
I know. I do need the Master Cycle.
It's going to inevitably get a Game of the Year edition. That's why I'm holding out before buying on the Switch, because I know it's going to happen. They're going to... Next Christmas, I'll put money that's probably what it's going to be, you know?
I hope so. I mean, kudos to Nintendo. They've actually, you know, they went ahead and they said this was coming out on the Wii U forever ago, and then it got pushed back in 2014, and it got pushed back to 2015 and then 16, and it came out at the beginning of this year, but it wasn't coming out for the Wii U, and then it was coming out for the Wii U, and it was like it had a really rough cycle. And after, yes, we got Wind Waker remake, we got Twilight Princess remake, the debacle that was Skyward Sword.
Blech.
I know, and this was just a breath of fresh air.
You got jokes.
Babe, love of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she knows she can't top that joke, so.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good night.
Find us on Stitcher. And...
So, my number 3 is based off of pure nostalgia purposes, so it's Crash Bandicoot. Crash is probably one of the first games I remember playing and realizing that it's a game and there's objectives and achievements and things like that. So it kind of brought me back to one of my first gaming experiences. Like I said before, I'm not going to rehash. It's good game, looks good, has a fresh coat of paint, but it's still everything that you loved from before, and it made me very excited. So I put that at number 3. Number 2 for me is South Park, The Fractured Butthole. I didn't...
Wait, what? Why'd you say that so weird? what were you putting an emphasis on?
Fractured.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't actually play it. I am a passive gamer, as I like to call it. I watch Josh play probably 80% of the games that he plays, but I look out for things. I kind of point him in the direction. We play together almost. So the story was fun. Watching him, I could tell that he didn't like the mechanics. So what he said about that was true, but it made me want to play the game. It made me want to see the stick of truth. It was funny. It was like a South Park episode. I was interested in the story, where it was going to go. So I put that as my number 2. And I'm going to get a lot of crap for my number 1 because it's not a game from 2017, but I can do what I want because I don't play that many games. So it's Overwatch. It is literally...
Oh, good choice. Never mind. No crap. Good choice.
It's literally the game I have played the most this year. I think
Who's your main?
Diva.
Yeah!
Yeah,
We're better friends than we were.
I wanted to play as May because Josh says I should cosplay as her, but I just couldn't get it down. But I like Diva a lot.
No, man.
May is Bay.
No.
Have you played the May Snowball fight yet?
It's charming.
But yeah, I like I said, it's not kosher because it's not really a new release this year, but it's new to me, damn it. And I love it. I love Blizzard. I'm a Blizzard fangirl. And it's just so much fun. And there's a reason why, what was it, at the Game Awards, they were like, wasn't it nominated for best continued game or something like that? Like, people are still
I think it was like best esport team or
it was the best ongoing multiplayer game or something like that.
Yeah,
cool.
It just was basically saying like, hey, this game is still around and still just as popular as the day it came out.
It's got that Blizzard touch to it still.
Yes, it does. But yeah, that's my number one.
Cool. Very cool. Josh, just for funsies, did you have any first time playthroughs of a previously released title, a la Becca, that you wanted to share? Like, her number one wasn't from this year. So, like, did you have a game that wasn't from 2017 but was still amazing to you?
So, I mean, honestly, I know it came out on the PC, but it came out for consoles this year. Undertale.
Okay.
I loved Undertale, platinumed it on the PS4. I mean, It's a very, very easy game to platinum, but it was so good. It was so fun. The story to it's great. I didn't do the other. I only played through once. I still have to go through the other two modes to it. The one where you don't kill anyone, and then the one where you kill everybody. But I've had a lot of fun with it. I think it's probably one of the funniest games I've played in a while. Next to the South Park games, of course, because that's just a completely different set of humor there. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing through. I played through that. Man, I don't know what else. We'll get into that in our last topic of the day tonight.
Okay. Just for fun and lols, my favorite game from this year. That wasn't really from this year was Batman the Telltale series, season 1. Really enjoyed that. I actually need to replay that because I want to see how I can reshape it and going through it again. But
I actually I couldn't remember if it came out this year or last year. It was on my list to put as number one if it did come out this year, but it didn't, obviously. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to playing it more. And the new
season 2's out.
Yeah.
I have to get that. But I guess your choices might carry over to season 2. So I think I'll finish season 2 and then maybe start over. But yeah, one of the better Batman stories I've experienced in a couple of years. But what do you guys want to see happen in 2018? You got any resolutions?
I mean, overall, if we're talking about resolutions, I mean, my gaming resolution, honestly, this year is to not have ADD when it comes to games anymore. My problem is I'll start playing a game and be like, you know what? I'm going to go and start playing this one now. And then like leave that one maybe 25% into it or like close to the end of it and go and play this game here and be like, you know what? I have nothing to play, even though I'm already playing this. I need to sit down. I need to actually have my mind set on a game and play it and see it to the end. And I'm trying to do that this month right now, or the beginning of this year, with Mario Odyssey, and sitting down and trying to complete Mario Odyssey to the end, getting all the moons, getting all of the purple coins in the game, and then proceeding on to something else. I have another game. Actually, I have about 3 games already lined up, and these are games that I've already had. I've gotten either A for Christmas or B back on Black Friday, and I'm just waiting to go back to them. But I think trying to stop my ADD-ness with games is, one, going to make my wife a lot happier, especially when she's trying to watch me play a game.
Yeah, I like I said before, I really do enjoy watching video games if they have a good story. Like when you played Heavy Rain however many years ago, if it can keep me interested, I enjoy it. I like helping, point things out, like I said. But he's driving me nuts because he'll start playing something and then I get physically and mentally and emotionally invested in something, and then he has ADD and he stops and he goes to something else. So I am 100% okay with this resolution, and will help.
Everybody wins.
Break the cycle.
What about you, babe?
Mine would be to play more games, actually myself, and not watch this one due to the games. I want to play one game a month. I want to, which also kind of goes with expanding my genre horizons, because I only ever really played a handful of games and I always liked it. I don't know why I never dug deeper, but my goal is to try to play one game a month, and I think I'm going to start with Hellblade this month.
Okay. It's good ambition. You said earlier you're a passive gamer, so move to become an active gamer. It's cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Tom?
My resolution is a bit of a combination of both. It's just I need to be more dedicated to the vast glut of games that I've amassed, and I also need to play more often because I normally don't. But I think specifically in terms of just saying that I'm going to try to play more PC games. It's
Nice.
I make Brian such an easy target on the show when I'm always like PC over here. But I have in the past couple months like collected a couple really good like Steam titles, either just through like my reputation or I saw those and I was like, I really, really want to play this. So like in the next couple months, I'm aiming to be trying Undertale, Papers, Please, Fire Pro Wrestling, Psychonauts, just so many games that I'm just going to jump into, and who knows, I will probably be part of the master race within a couple months. But
If you ever want to dabble in the world of Warcraft, you let me know.
Well, with the vanilla servers going up this year, maybe I should try it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but yeah, it's just something I never did because of how I was allowed to own video games as a child. So like PC was just never an option. But
Right.
now I'm a grown man, so
That will
see if I
take
get-
up
I wanna-
all of your time.
Tom, if you have a PlayStation Vita, Santa Claus brought me Undertale for the PlayStation Vita.
Josh, Santa Claus isn't real.
Now, what if someone's listening to this podcast right now and you
You just
just
ruined their
shattered
lives.
somebody's...
Welcome to the real world. You could just put a big like beep over that.
So, so Tom, going
Yeah.
into 2018, I know we're, as of recording of this, we're 2 days into it right now. What are you looking forward to most out of 2018? Game-wise, anything gaming, world related?
I'm looking forward to the inevitable delay of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm thinking, honestly, 2020.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to Nintendo announcing that Super Smash Bros. Deluxe will be out this holiday season because they need to keep that momentum train going.
Do you think the Ice Climbers will make it?
Maybe.
All right, we got a maybe here.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the unexpected, I guess, Okay, those last two things, the joke was that those things were expected. But no, I'm just kind of leaving myself open because this year there was a lot of surprises. So let's see if we can have that happen again,
Yeah, I'm interested to see because I think that there's going to be a direct coming this month. There has to be a direct coming. They haven't had any big announcements for a while now, but we'll see.
I put down a few games that I'm looking forward to go along with my resolution of playing one game a month. I am looking forward to Spider-Man. Hopefully. I mean, they said 2018. I don't think there's a date, but I'm going to say that 2018 is when Spider-Man comes out. So I'm excited for that. I am excited for Soul Calibur 6 because I love Soul Calibur. And I was actually very excited when I saw the little teaser of that. I'm excited for Wolf Among Us 2 because I really enjoyed playing the first one. And I'm also looking forward to We Happy Few, which has been taking a long time to come out.
Yeah, she's been just patient. Every couple months she's like, "Did it come out yet? Is it out yet?" Like, When's it coming out?
And I've been hearing mixed reviews of what people think about it, but I think the story and the art and the concept is something I really enjoy, and I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm optimistic.
A lot of people were. You have to look, because a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, this game, it's all right. It's bad. It's great." You know, a lot of people said the same exact thing, and Tom can agree on this about BioShock Infinite. When the game came out, people were like, "It's all right. It's not it's not the original BioShock. It's
better, you know."
Well, yeah. But like, the end of it, people weren't happy about it because it was too psychological of a game, and I understand.
I don't like thinking.
A lot of people who play games, they want a clear ending. You know, you put all this time and effort into it, and you want a clear ending, and it turned a lot of people away from it. But I think something like this, from what I've seen of it, the game looks good.
I mean, it's Gearbox. Gearbox is a part of it, at least.
I mean, the Borderlands...
I was intrigued by it from just the beginning because the creepiness of just the dystopia sci-fi world, like the way the kind of cops and stuff talk to you, and they're like, hey, like it's just like, ooh, like I wanted to play it just from the second I saw it because I'm like, this looks creeptastic.
Yeah, the weirder something is, the more I'm intrigued by it. Josh?
Yeah.
Octopus Traveler?
Yeah.
Well, since you just totally just ripped that one right from my mouth, yes, I'm actually extremely excited for Project Octopath Traveler. I don't want to play the demo.
What's that?
Oh,
I don't know what that is.
Project Octopath Traveler?
Octodad?
Octopus Traveler.
I haven't even played the demo to it because I just want to wait for the game to actually come out so I can enjoy it for what it is. And that's just going back to the old Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy games from the Super Nintendo and making it modern, and especially playing it on the Switch, being able to play those type of games on the go, being able to play 8 different stories, you know, and have them all come together towards the end. Like it's going to be awesome. I think once that gets released, that's going to shatter a lot of expectations.
8 legs, you could say.
Yeah,
there's 8 legs.
It's going to shatter a lot of expectations. I know.
Is the demo still live?
I believe it. It's an actual demo. It's not a beta.
Oh, so I thought it was a timed event. So I figured I missed it.
I don't know. I don't dip too much into the eShop ever since I've been playing it because, like I said, I'm trying to limit myself. Unless there's a sale, it's the only time I'll ever dip into the stores. I know. Okay. Becca talked about Spider-Man. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think this game is going to be the Arkham version of Spider-Man that we've been waiting for. I mean, when you think of superheroes, some of your top ones, I mean, you even think like Spider-Man's kind of the Batman-esque of the Marvel area. Like when you think of DC, people are usually like, oh, Batman or Superman. Yeah. You know, when you think of Marvel, everyone usually goes right to Spider-Man or Iron Man or whatnot. But I think this, I mean, we've had a lot of those Ultimate Spider-Man games that's come out. They're all right, but from what I saw of this game, I'm so extremely excited to see it.
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human. I'm extremely excited about that. I loved Heavy Rain. I was Beyond Two Souls was pretty decent. I think just the choice making in this one and being, I mean, Quantum Dreams, they're great company and the games that they make are excellent. And then right now, the biggest thing, the only thing I have pre-ordered, the first game I've pre-ordered in such a long time, the remake of Secret of Mana.
Oh, that's right. That's early next. That's like within
February,
a month, isn't it?
February.
Oh,
yeah, it's like February 15th or something like that. Yeah, we went because GameStop is the only place that's doing a physical release of it. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it at GameStop. I was like, nope, gotta get it. So it's because it's the only way you can get a physical copy, and it's going to be extremely limited.
February 15th.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. But going back to the resolutions, though, do you guys have any resolutions for the podcast? Anything like that? Anything you want to see us do? Anything, for the future of this?
No more hiatuses.
Yes. I want to try to get
try not to get married.
Again. No, I completely agree with you on that one. I want to try to get this as weekly as possible. for us. I mean, we had a little bit of a hiatus because I know we had the wedding. You had family in.
Holidays for everybody are always crazy.
Yeah.
And I know Brian's going through his own trials and tribulations. I hope best for him and his family,
Yes, absolutely.
But I like just uniting us all together, and I just want us to be all in a positive state where we can do that more often. So I want us all to be good this year so that the podcast can continue.
Yes. The only thing I'm looking forward to is I want to try to get us to do a convention. I mean, Too Many Games is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Greatness from small beginnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
I haven't said that the past couple of years.
I know.
Looking forward to this year.
2018. 365 days of hopefully not suckiness.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for the 3 to Play Games podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Please remember to like, review, and share these episodes so you can spread the word of gaming goodness. And remember, 2018 may be the year of the dog, but 2017 was the year of the Switch.